And we are live. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, depending upon where you are in the world, or even evening if you're on the way on the other side of the world. Today, I have with me, of course, my co-host who tries to keep me sane, which is a little bit different than when I'm in his channel and I go on a rant. Because I don't rant so much on this channel. I noticed that I have you in here and I don't rant too much. It's kind of the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not wrong there. You come to mine and you just sort of let rip. This one, you're positively understated, sir. Positively understated.
Understated is not the term that I would necessarily use for myself. But why am I doing a stream today? Well, because I wanted to. All right. But the main focus today is the stupidity. And I mean absolute stupidity that's going around out there, how the Ukrainians are kicking the ass out of the Russians. No, folks. No, they're not. And
hold it. Are you telling me you don't believe what the media is telling you? How can you suggest this?
There are certain things that are true, right? But one of the problems with what's going on out there is they're trying to describe what Putin is like, and the terms that they're using are just nonsensical. Right? Putin is furious that his timetables are behind their timetable. No, they're not. Okay, they are not behind their timetable in any significant way for this operation. People are thinking in Western terms. Oh, there's no way that Putin can win because the Ukrainian people are united to fight him. Really? All right, you haven't seen what's coming. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You people out there that think that Putin is getting his ass kicked, that all these things are happening, and that they're winning, and there's not any problems there, and the Ukrainians are kicking the crap out of them. And don't get me wrong, the Ukrainians are fighting. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
But they have not seen the full fury yet, except in small little areas of what the Russians are getting ready to do. There's a world of hurt coming down. Yep. There's a world of hurt that's getting ready to come down and to start crushing, and people are going to be livid. And they're going to be like, oh, Putin's out of his mind. No, this was the plan all along, folks. Putin has already gotten a lot of what he wants. For example, we'll start with this. Putin warned third parties against creating a Ukrainian no-fly zone. Vladimir Putin warned Saturday that Russia would consider any third-party declaration of a no-fly zone over the Ukraine as participating in the war. In other words, if you try to fly over here, we will shoot you down. It's a real simple issue.
Mm-hmm.
All right? It's ridiculous, right? While Ukrainian officials blamed Russian shelling for breaching a ceasefire arranged in two cities to evacuate civilians, the struggle to enforce a ceasefire in Mariupol, a strategic port on the southeast and eastern city of, I cannot even try and pronounce that.
Good.
I mean, there's just no way.
Volnovaka?
Novaka.
Yeah.
Novaka. Volnovaka. I'm not trying to butcher your name. So if I butchered, I apologize. That's why I didn't want to say it. Right? Showed the fragility of the efforts to stop the fighting across the Ukraine as the number of people fleeing the country has reached 1.4 million in just 10 days. After the Russian forces invaded, Putin accused the Ukraine of sabotaging the evacuation and even claimed that Ukrainians' leadership was calling into question the future of the country's statehood, saying, if this happens, it will be entirely on their conscience. Earlier, the Russian Defense Ministry said it agreed with the Ukrainian on evacuation routes out of Mariupol and whatever it is, right? The site of growing misery amid an ongoing assault that created desperate scenes at hospitals and raised the prospect of food and water shortages for hundreds of thousands of people in freezing weather. No shit. Now, do you think the Russians are concerned about this? Let me explain to people so that you understand how the Russians do things. The Russians move into an area, they set up their artillery, and then they blast. Okay? They surround an area. They may take their time depending upon how far out it is. Good afternoon, Sean. Right? And then they bring in artillery, and then they go launch, and then they start obliterating things.
I'm going to say it. Who does that remind you of?
Well, there's nothing wrong with this methodology. Right? I'm not going to answer you, but there's nothing wrong with the mentality about how they're going about this. What I'm trying to point out is the idea that somehow the Ukrainians are kicking the holy crap out of the Russians. They're not. I'm not saying the Russians are walking in, with sweetness and light. That's not happening either. I'm sure the Russians would have liked that. Okay. But you can go by the fact that the first people that they sent in, let's be perfectly blunt here. One of the first groups that they were sending in to go deal with this stuff, right, at the very point, were their worst elements. They were the Chechens and a few others, right? These are unreliable forces that they were using as shock troops.
You say shock troops. I say bullet sponges.
However you want to look at it, right? Now, I bring up the Chechens, and I bring these lower end troops up because there's been accusations of the Russians raping women and things like that. For these low end forces, yeah, that's the kind of shit that will happen. Okay, I'm not denying that. Okay, now is it widespread? Don't know. All right, I mean it's impossible to know. Do these kind of things happen? Yeah, they will. But people have going around going, well, Vlad she's struggling and the Russian economy is falling apart and they're having all sorts of problems. No, they're not. Not to the degree that they're trying to give you the impression of. The Russian people, as much as everyone wants to point out, oh, they're protesting over here and they're protesting over there. You don't see mass protests. You really don't. And you're not going to. Okay? Because that's not who the Russians are. Right? When the Russians get up in mass, you'll know it. Okay? Because that's when let's be perfectly blunt here. When the Russians start protesting in mass, there will be killings left and right in the streets, number one. And number two is eventually the Russian people, because they've risen up in mass, will get a hold of their leaders and they'll start executing them.
Yep.
That is the standard Russian mentality. You get us all angry enough, mass protest equals target. Pretty much.
He's not wrong.
But the thing is I'm not trying to make light of this, right? And I'm not saying that the Ukrainians aren't fighting for their lives, because many of them are, right? But the fact that they're overemphasizing what they consider victories. These are not huge victories, all right? They're not. They're not reverses. You have this thing here. War in the air. The Ukrainians cheer as they shoot down 2 Russian aircraft and destroy a helicopter. Now, I'll be honest with you. If you take a look at this, I do want to show this helicopter. Okay, this helicopter strike. This is actually pretty impressive. All right, I'm not going to deny this. This is a pretty good video, actually.
Yeah.
Well, where's my thing at? Oh, I got it. Things these pop-ups keep happening. Let's see what this shows, because this is not what I thought it was. But now notice the snow. Oh, these guys are just fighting the fire. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go back to the thing here. I'll show. I want to show this hit with the Russian helicopter, because it's you can see it in these videos. This helicopter is flying along. It's a Hind D, and in comes Mr. Missile to say hi, and it does say hi in a brilliant way.
I still say they're just going to get out and walk away because they're so hard, and you know
No, I don't think they're walking away from that. I don't think you can say that this kind of a fireball is something you just hop on out with. All right?
Just walk it off. You'll be fine. Come on.
You ain't walking this off. All right? That is not a walk away from kind of thing, right? And this is the airframe that they said was shot down. This is what they used, which was Stingers, right?
Yeah.
Now the thing about Stingers is they're dangerous, because when the wrong people get a hold of them, they're pretty brutal, right? They can be used for a lot more things than people realize, but they are effective, and they do got a decent range to them, right? So if you have low flying aircraft, Stinger missiles can really kick the shit out of things, right?
By the way, Sean agrees with me.
Put some rub a little dirt in the wound, you'll be fine. Is that it? Is that it, Sean?
Yeah. What's your problem? You'll be fine. Come on.
The fact that the Russians are not trying to kill civilians, are not wanting to turn Ukraine into a wasteland, tells me that all the crap our media comes out with over the war is just absolute. Hold that. I hate to tell you this, Jacob, but you're going to be. It's going to be one of those hold my beer moments. Hi, Ms. Murder. Yeah. Well, welcome. All right. I'm not trying to be, contrary. All right, just to be contrary. Okay. The thing is, now this is they just show this thing blowing up, whatever it is. It's supposed to be a Russian 34. But that's something else that now you're starting to see. Now you're starting to see them move in the expected airframes. They're not just moving in, Su-25s or MiG-25s and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving in, or Su-27s rather. They're now using Su-34s and a few of the other more modern airframes.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means they were taking their time about this. This is a meticulously run operation, and it's being run to the way they want to run the war, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing things on a very linear basis, right? Just like this, right? New Iron Curtain is descending across Russia's internet. Color me surprised! Oh no! Oh! How could this be happening? Really, folks?
Yep. Hold it. They're saying this, and this is just after the West has actually cleared all of these internet things that we're cutting off from the Russians. I mean, good God, the poor sods can't even get access to porn. What's wrong with them?
Yeah, that's their big counteract attack back.
Yeah.
Is this up there? We're gonna ban Russian porn from you. You won't be able to see our women naked frolicking with other men.
That's how I've worked out. That's why all this raping and whatnot's being accused, because they've turned off the porn.
Is that what it was? Is they were trying to upload those up to the internet? Is that what you think's happening? I hate to say it, but I can see that happening. I really can, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I can see horrific things like that happening. And I can see a market for it.
Yeah.
There are some freaking twisted people out there who would be, oh, yeah, well, this shows Ukrainian women being raped by Russian soldiers. I gotta see this.
Yeah. Plus, of course, the psychological damage it will actually do to the Ukrainians as well. I could see that being used as propaganda.
I can see it being used for propaganda. So it's not something that I think that the Russians would be normally doing. Now, I will say this, right? I can see the Chechen forces that they moved in there first doing this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Okay, they threw in convicts. They threw in their dirty elements. Their convict battalions. Well, I'm calling them convict battalions. I don't know if they're actually convicts or not. But they're throwing in some of their more vicious throwaway troops at the beginning of this conflict, and I can see these kinds of things happen. Especially with the Islamic code, which is once you conquer, they're yours.
Yeah.
That's the mentality that they have. Is anyone else disappointed that no one is rocking around with a Lupura?
Whatever the hell that is.
Ms.
I have no idea.
Ms. Murder is now caused me to go over here. Is that how it's spelled?
Apparently. Oh,
Apparently
so
not.
that's what it's called. 1920s Mafia machine gun. I thought
Lupara. Ah! Okay. That's what we're dealing with. Okay. That's actually a nice looking gun.
Yeah.
But I'll admit that. That's a beautiful weapon. Right.
It's good. It's a good way of actually dealing with a lot of issues, I've got to say.
Well, it's going to deal with a lot of personal issues. It's not going to.
Yeah.
This is not something you take to war. Okay.
It's only because it's only got 2 shots.
Well, even if it's only because it got 2 shots, I mean that's not a weapon of war, right?
True.
Now it is something I can see them giving the Chechens to go out there and rape with.
Actually, that is a very good urban weapon. Can you imagine that thing drum fed? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
fun.
They're throwing their
If only.
But no. All right, but back to this thing here. You know, where they're trying to descend across the internet. Now, first of all, they show a burned out, armored personnel carrier.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what hit this armored personnel carrier, but I can say this: this fire was hot as hell.
Yeah.
That barrel, take a look at the bend of that barrel.
Yeah.
And that takes quite a bit of heat, all right, to generate that kind of a bend, all right. And I don't know if there were bodies in here. Okay.
If there was, you're not going to know about it anymore. They are melted down to minimum.
Well, there'll be skeletons, but there'll be skeletal remains. But the idea that this is stopping Russia. Advocates of an open, globally connected internet have long worried that major countries or regions would break away from the web amid geopolitical strife. No shit. Really?
Actually, go back to that picture a sec. At the very back of that thing, does that look like a petrol container? If so, why hasn't it exploded?
That's not. That's the hatch.
Okay. It does look like a petrol container to me, though. Just saying.
It does have kind of a shape of a petrol container, but no. If you take a look at it, first of all, you have the hinges right here,
Yeah.
right, and then you have the handle right here. This is the
Okay.
hatch. This is the hatch that opens and shuts.
All right.
But it was a good question. And the reason for I say that it was a good question is because when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell were they doing? Oh, that's what that is. Because I thought that same thing initially.
Okay, good. It's not just me then.
No, it does. It does have the shape of a petrol container the way you think about it, right? But if you take a look at this hatch, look at how it is. Look how it's designed. This is not how Americans design hatches, by the way.
No.
Right. First of all, you'll notice this inner ring here, and then this is all pushed out.
Yeah.
Right. See it?
Yeah.
Right. It's like a blister, like an armored blister. We basically match the match the sides where the back of those hatches just look like it's flush with the door,
Yeah.
with the frame rather. Russians don't care about aesthetics. I'm not saying this is a bad design. I'm just pointing this out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we don't design hatches this way. Well, I don't know if the body's there. Well, not anymore. Nope. Fuckers. Lithium does burn bad. All right. I'm not saying that they wouldn't use things like lithium in some of these things.
Does make you wonder for that thing with lithium, since they give that to you if you've got mental issues. What are they trying to say?
Well, that's not pure lithium. They can
I
use
know,
a lithium
but
compound. They just call it lithium.
it still makes you wonder, though.
Moscow censors on Friday banned Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Friday? Really? They waited till Friday? I'm just putting it out there. Throttled other American social media outlets. Microsoft banned sales to Russia. Oh no, how will they survive? Right? Following a similar move by Apple. Oh gee, we can't get enough Apple iPhones from China.
Yeah.
Yeah. We banned these sales. Sure you did. What a bet that Crapple shows up all over the place in Russia?
Mm-hmm.
The leading American conduit for internet data, Cogent Communications, all right, severed ties with its Russian clients to prevent its networks from being used for propaganda or cyber attacks aimed at the beleaguered Ukrainians. Well, now they're beleaguered Ukrainians. I thought they were kicking the holy shit out of the Russians.
Yeah.
Now they're
By the,
beleaguered?
by the way, I have issues with this, and my main issues are this. Okay, B plays a real-time strategy game that she does, and she's got quite a few Russian people that she works with, and she was telling me about chatting with them and interacting with them earlier on today. Now, unless someone's lying to me, today ain't Friday. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, they should be banned. It should be impossible. Excuse me while I
Yeah.
blow my nose here.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Now, I'm being serious, okay? She does this game where she ends up talking to people all around the world playing this battle game. No, I don't know what it's called, and no, I wouldn't say it even if I did remember. As far as I'm concerned, screw you to YouTube. I don't care. Okay? Now that's out of the way. She's chatting with these people, and she was talking about, I think, if I remember correctly, she was saying about this guy in Moscow, and then she was describing what he was doing in this game and why he wasn't doing certain things. And it's like, oh, I thought that was supposed to be closed off. Well, apparently not. Interesting. One of two things. He's got a way of getting out of Russia with his internet, maybe VPNs, I don't know. Or two, this whole thing about cutting off Russia is a load of rubbish. I'll let you make your own decision on that one.
Well, I'm sure they've cut off certain things. I thought Facebook turning off Facebook is definitely doable by them.
Yeah.
Now, will that stop them, like you said, from jumping to a VPN and doing it that way? Perhaps
Mm-hmm.
not. Right? Most likely it would, but I'm not going to go into details.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, no, these I don't disagree with you. Right? But if we're talking about hardship, okay, we got to visit the Babylon Bee. A parody site, folks. Just remember it's a parody site.
Rubbish.
Batman delivers a solid superhero entry, but fails to comment on the hardships of the trans lives in war-torn Ukraine. I was first in line to see Batman this week, even though I purchased my tickets and reserved my seat weeks ahead of time. The theater I went to, despite my many letters of protest, allowed tickets to be purchased by the unvaccinated. Ugh, I know, but I chose to look past it somehow, as my Batman fandom demanded that I see it that night. The movie offered a solid superhero entry. Yes, it hit everything you typically expect to see in a Batman film. a brooding, conflicted Bruce Wayne. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, all right? That portrayal of Batman, I have never, ever pictured Bruce Wayne as brooding and full of self-doubt.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is not full of self-doubt. He's a committed psychopath. Understand this. He is.
I know.
I'm gonna bring justice to you. He doesn't second. When have you ever seen Batman second guessing the justice that he delivers?
No, that's true. I do have a point I want to make about this. Okay, now have you know who's playing Batman in this? Yeah,
No, I have no idea.
it's the moronic vampire from Twilight. You got that?
Okay, so he's somebody from Twilight, another show I never watched.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the vampire from Twilight is playing Batman. Vampire, Batman. Anyone else seeing a connection here?
Oh, you're gonna think that that's what they're gonna bring in? They're gonna turn Batman into a vampire?
Oh God, no!
After 2014, when the Ukraine began listening a lot more to Western powers, not that they had a choice, well, then the more tensions between the two. All right. Yes, but the reality is Ukraine did have a choice. Number one, and number two is they're not really. It's not so much that they were listening to the Western powers, but they started kowtowing to it. Okay. Yeah. Does anybody remember Biden? All right.
We try not to.
Does anybody remember Biden's little thing where he had a thing where they said he went in there and said that I came over there with $1 billion deal and told them that I would stop it if they didn't fire this prosecutor?
Oh, that, yeah.
And they came back and they fired. Well, what do you know? They fired the prosecutor.
Yeah.
Really? So you went in there and ordered a sovereign nation, all right, to fire their domestic and their internal affairs, right, for their country. You started meddling with the internal affairs, and they agreed. And you don't think that the Russians went, say what?
Mm-hmm.
And you, as a dumbass Biden, were bragging about it.
Yep.
Then you, as a dumbass Biden, right, so said, we're pulling out of Afghanistan. Quick, boys, everybody out of the pool. Well, what's the plan? What plan? Just get out. The plan's to get out. La, 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 la. Where's my pudding?
Yeah.
So when the man scrambled to get out, all right, we screwed up. We screwed up everything that we had been doing positive in Afghanistan. Well, fucking done. When Trump was in there, you can like Trump, you can hate Trump. I don't care, right? Trump's got a lot of things that people don't like. I don't particularly like his smug attitude. I was talking to Jensen earlier about this.
Yep.
But the one thing you can honestly say is that when Trump turned around and put that attitude aside and said, look, you stupid sons of bitches, if you sit up there and do this, we're going to come back with B-52s and your entire village is going to be gone. I'm not playing games anymore. They went,
Yep.
When he went and told the Taliban, look, if you don't want us back here, this is what you'll do. Now, as soon as they got rid of Trump and you put a weak-ass, spineless piece of shit like Biden in charge, which we did, can't argue. You end up with what happened in Afghanistan.
Don't hold back, dude. Tell us how you really feel, okay? Don't try and keep it all subtle. Let us know.
All the work that we had done in Afghanistan, all the work that we had done in Iraq are basically undone. And then the stupid son of a bitch, while he's bitching and crying and whining and we're going to get black. We're going to stop him. We're tough. We're going to stop him. Oh, by the way, Vlad, can you talk to the Iranians so we can make a deal so I can let them get nuclear weapons? Does anybody take Biden seriously anymore? How can you? How can you take anything that these people say seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I missing something?
Oh, no, I agree with you. I mean, I hate to say it, but with your potato in chief in charge, your country has gone from a fairly scary bunch of nut jobs to, oh, them. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. But the only threat he has is he may come over and visit. And it's more a threat of, oh,
No,
God,
he's not
not
going to
that one
threaten to
again.
come over and visit. The biggest threat he has is send Kamala.
That's my point. It's a case of, oh, God, not again.
With the
More
U.S.
than
distracted by the
attack.
Ukraine, Xi is plotting his own invasion. No shit, really? Xi Jinping surely that isn't true. Xi Jinping is acting out an old Chinese stratagem. It's called sitting on the mountaintop watching the tigers fight. Or as
Yep.
we say in the United States, I'll bet less poetically,
Mhm.
let you and him fight.
Yep.
All right. That's exactly what he's doing. From his perch on the mountaintop, Xi is closely following the fighting in the Ukraine and the world's reaction. There's no doubt Xi hopes that Russian President Vladimir Putin succeeds in taking over the former Soviet country. After all, Xi hopes one day soon to launch his own special military action against the island of Taiwan. China's strategic alliance with Russia has also begun to pay dividends for Xi. Putin's Ukrainian adventure has diverted America's attention from Asia to Europe. President Biden's State of the Union address on Tuesday hammered Russia on Ukraine for minutes on end. China, where the deadly virus originated that killed millions across the world, was scarcely mentioned. It's not wrong,
No.
right? It's unfortunate, but he's not wrong. It's not wrong to sit up there and what's been happening with this stuff. And there's the idea, okay, that we're serious about stopping Putin with what he's doing in Russia. No, we're
Mhm.
not. We're not. Don't believe me? Well, let's take a look at the Bloomberg report.
Hmm.
Germany faces reckoning for relying upon Russia's cheap energy. Really? The only thing that they've done is they've stopped the certification temporarily of the Nord Stream 2. Everything else is flowing like gangbusters, has yet to be turned off, has yet to not to be paid. Now, what does that tell you? All these countries where you see this stopping, all right, Bulgaria, this is Hungary, folks. Just so you
Mhm.
understand what you're dealing with here. This right here is Slovakia. This is Czech. This is Germany. All these countries, Turkey's got several outlets, right? They're getting Russian oil today, not tomorrow. Today, they're getting Russian oil.
Yep.
No, man, we spent
Mhm.
20 years enforcing feminism, bisexual, gender confusing courses in Afghanistan. I don't know. I don't get how that's supposed to make things better over there. Well, that wasn't the only thing that we were doing over there. But the idea that somehow Russia is suffering from these sanctions and everything, they're not. Now, Russia is, quite frankly, right, having to sell its oil and gas below market prices. But since you jack the market prices, what is oil right now? Like $113, $114 a barrel?
About that. Yeah.
Let's see what oil price,
Mhm.
right? Let's go over
Much
to
more of a
here to oil
dopey thing.
prices. We can take a look at this right now.
Mhm.
And Crude is 115 to 100. Brent crude is $118 a barrel.
Okay.
Right. So Russia has to sell it for 20% under that, or 30% under that. So they're only selling it for $70 a barrel. Right? They're only selling it for $70 a barrel. Is Germany facing are they really facing a reckoning? No, none of these assholes are.
No.
And Germany, they're parasites, right? The Germans are fucking parasites. Pardon my language.
Yes.
They're parasites. They've been parasitic for a long time. I'll be honest with you. I trust a Frenchman more than I trust a German.
That's bad.
I'm not wrong either. Because at least the French, they may be inept, all right? They might be surrender monkeys, all right? But you can trust them to at least put up a fight initially. Now, they may go, fight, oh, ow, ow, okay, we surrender. But they'll start. They'll at least start.
Yeah.
What are the Germans doing? How many weapon systems do you think the Germans could add to this fight with the Ukrainians if they really wanted to?
Should be more, yeah. But
Okay.
you remember, you have pointed out how many on several occasions that they don't have anything even close to a large amount of hardware to actually send over. So,
Well, they have it's time they started paying their fair share. A lot of these Democrat politicians like Biden talk about paying their fair share. But Bernie Sanders, America needs to pay its fair share. Well, how about you sit up there and ask these other countries to step up and pay their fair share, Bernie? How about you fucking go back and Joe, tell these guys to sit up there and pay their fair share? Why don't they sit up there and take care of this issue?
it's funny you say this because apparently several countries in Europe, I think it's like basically most of the Eastern European countries are actually starting to pay their fair share. So
Well, the Eastern European
finally,
countries, sure. I can see why Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary, why they're going, oh boy.
yeah,
You can understand why they're going, oh no, yeah, we're going to start building up our military.
that's
You
why the
can
Germans
see now
aren't.
why they might have an issue.
Yeah,
They
no,
might
that's
be a little
why
bit
the
concerned
Germans
here.
aren't doing it, dude. They've got all of Eastern Europe as a border between Russia and them. So anything that Russia chooses to do, it's got to go through these other countries first. So Germany's got some time.
Germany has no time because they don't have the will.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will turn on America like Jacob here will sit up there and say it, right? About how soft America is. And there's truth to what he says. All right. But the reality is you want to go to places that are really soft? Germany, Italy, Spain. Okay? These are countries that have that their people are soft. And you notice I didn't include France in that regard.
I noticed that, yeah.
Because there's a core of Frenchmen that will actually stand up and take the hits. You can see it with those freaking stupid yellow vests. I hate to tell you this, but it's true. Those yellow vest things. I got to admit, their protests have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? But do you see that in Germany?
No.
Well, where is this whole German attitude? Now, this is the live map, right? And there's a situation here that I think people need to be really cognizant of. Now, you can come down here and take a look at these areas here where they say that they've shot down Su-34s, right? These are more modern airframes, all right? And it is impressive that they're actually able to hit an Su-34, I'll be honest with you, right? But what's causing me a little bit of concern is this. Okay? So what you're seeing are drones being delivered, right? Here in Poland at the airport. So this is a likely military hub for the Ukraine. If they are flying these drones and these drone strikes out of Poland, it's a matter of time before we end up with a freaking serious conflict with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If they can prove, if the Russians can prove that these Bayraktar, I don't. I guess that's the term for what we'd call a raptor.
Probably, yeah.
Right. TB2 drones. Now they're saying they're wreaking havoc on Russian military vehicles. Okay. Well, let me explain this to you guys. Can you hit a military vehicle with this? Yeah. How many military vehicles is a TB2 drone going to take out?
Hold it. We've got it here. The Bayraktar is much lighter than the American MQ-9 Reaper drone, more comparable to the MQ-1 Grey Eagle.
Okay. So how many vehicles are you taking out?
Not that many, let's be honest.
Right. Well, they're going to take out 3 or 4. You know,
Yeah.
a single one can go 3 or 4. It says payload is 120 pounds. No, they're not even taking out 3 or 4.
No.
Okay. You might. Okay. Yeah, you might be hitting a truck. All right. You know, but is that gonna affect the T-80? 120 pounds of explosives.
It comes equipped with 4 smart micro-munition laser-guided missiles. Mm-hmm.
Are those missiles capable of taking these out?
Light and non-armored vehicles only, I'd say.
The success of these drone strikes raises questions about the effectiveness of the Russian air defenses. Russia is believed to be operating a large number of S-400 long-range surface-to-air missile systems, a number of other short-range air defense systems. However, Russia may not have enough air defense systems to protect all of its convoys and troop movement. Okay, I can tell you right now, folks, that the Russians don't give a shit about that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's not how Russians think. First of all, an S-400 is meant to take down planes, not to take down drones. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's important to understand that. Okay? Because the fact that you're taking down a plane is immaterial. All right? Or isn't immaterial because you got to compare it to what it can do versus what a drone can do. Those SUs that they're flying, those MiG-29s that the Ukrainians are flying, right, can carry 3,000 or 4,000 pounds of bombs, all right, versus 120. See the difference? They're not going to use an S-400 against a drone.
No.
They're not, right? But I will say this, and by the way, this is the area they were talking about them flying out of. They better. I'm certainly hoping they're not flying these freaking drones from here. I really do hope that, because that's going to widen the war. Because that could bring us into war with Russia over Poland, right? And I'll say something else. You remember all that talk that they were talking about how the Belarusians are going to go into here?
Yep.
How come the Belarusians haven't gone in there?
Good question.
Because they're not needed. That's why, right? You take a look at where all the fighting now is up in here, right? And now what you're seeing are strikes here. A lot of artillery.
Yeah.
Russian army fired on an empty train that was to evacuate civilians from Ypres, right? Well, okay, if it's seeing a train, how's it supposed to know? Is this what set up to say? Are the trains running around saying evacuation train on them in Russian, in Cyrillic?
So what are you saying, that they didn't have a Z on it? I gotcha. Z for you lot. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if these things have Z's. I don't think they have Y's. I don't know if they have V's. All right. All I know is that these things are being bombed or shelled, and that's the other thing. They talk about Russian bombing. How do I know this is a bomb versus a freaking shelling? You don't.
Yep.
Right?
Agree.
I mean, that's the worst part about a lot of this stuff. And now you take a look at this. You take a look at this map, right? You can see where all the fighting is right now that they're showing. Is they're just shelling these areas. The Russians have stopped up in this area, specifically along this road, by the way. This road right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is where this column is.
Yeah.
Remember when they're talking about that big column? That column goes along this road and comes down.
Yeah, the one that you wanted to fly up and down with B-52s and a big smile.
Well, that's what I would have done. Yeah, I would have stood up there and said, you know what? This looks like a lineup here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just put it out there.
Well, let's be honest. It does basically have a big old banner saying, please bomb here, doesn't it?
All right. All along this road, and like I said, a separate area here where they captured these airfields. Right. So what they're doing now is they're softening up this area with artillery, and then they'll move in the troops, and then they'll soften up the next area with artillery, and then they'll move in the troops. They're just going to blast their way into Kiev. Right? That's what they're doing. All these other forays, right? Now, I'll be honest with you. I am surprised that the Russians haven't tried to take out this roadway right here, this M6 roadway.
Yep.
Now you can see that there's little pockets here and here of fighting, or something's going on here, right? Which it doesn't explain to you what these are, you know, this little area here. But just like, okay, we'll go back up here. Like there's an area here, right? I don't know if that's just this, but they're not trying to actually stop anybody from getting out of Kiev right now, or Kyiv, however they want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And the change into this, right? So now they're bombing 90. They're bombing over here. Why are they bombing over here? Okay, what were they bombing? You know, you can say that they were doing this. Okay, well then, what was here that they were bombing? Did they just say, you know what? We're just going to send our planes out. Go over here. Here, let me throw a dart on the map. Okay. We'll pick this area here. Bilik. Okay, it's its turn now. Let's throw a bomb up there. Is that what they're doing?
It seems that way, even though they shouldn't.
All right. Well, does that make sense to anybody?
No.
Nomad should know he's 30%. He's 40% Trotsky and 30% Stalin.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been described this way. This is a new one. I don't know why people think I'm Trotsky. I don't understand that.
Dude, they're just saying you're a subtle Stalinist. That's all it is.
Right.
Okay.
An Su-30 SM aircraft was shot down and the pilot was captured. Okay. What's here? Right. They're saying that these farmers are seizing a Sam Tor. Let's go see what the farmers are doing, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
These are farmers. Was he trying to deliver grain? Oh, I'm just curious. I mean, this is supposed to show me where these brave farmers came and I find this interesting. Have you noticed where the patterns are of people walking?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back up a little. Back up a little, just a bit. Notice this. Notice all these tracks. What was going on here? Is this guy jumping in here to see if he can get in these windows? Are the people jumping out of these windows?
You know, that's actually a very good question. We'd need to see the footprints down something more to identify that. But yeah, it does look that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. So people like walking out. See, I'll be honest with you. That showed us nothing. What kind of crap is this?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the. Oh, okay. Here, maybe it's this one. Well, this is pretty cool.
We got lights and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ma! Look what I found.
Oh, come on. Are you telling me you can't picture a bunch of farmers in America doing something like that?
First of all, they wouldn't be pulling it with a tractor. They would be driving it. They would figure out a way to try and drive this thing.
Fair
And
point.
then they would hear things like, woohoo, like the Dukes of Hazzard. Driving it through shit. Okay, that's what would be happening with America.
I now have the mental image of a BMP-1 and the horn sounds the Whistling Dixie tune. Yeah,
Is that the one you're talking about?
that's the one. And do you know what? That would be really scary. I like that concept.
Yeah, that's another thing. I hate to say this, but look at this guy waving. Hey, look at me! I'm sitting in the got
Look
Farmer
what I've
Joe.
got.
Okay, look what I found. Ma, this was in the cornfield.
Yep. We grew
I was going
something
to sit up
new.
there and release a few of our cows in that area, and lo and behold, this thing's sitting up there keeping Bessie from getting through the gate. Do you know what kind of shit I had to pull down and put back in there? Do you know how long I had working on that fence line? You sons of bitchin' Russians.
As Mama looks at him and says, "That is Bessie now."
Let's tow this down to Uncle Joe's. He was looking for he was looking for a new planter. Let's see if this works.
Oh no. There is it. I've just got something I want to say. Is that a Z on the front? Because if not, I can't see a Z on there at all. Directly under the aerials. That could be.
No, I don't think so.
No, it's not. That's snow. Where the hell's the Z? Again,
Well, then again,
I'm
they may have painted over some stuff here. I don't know.
just remember that the
That makes
Ukrainians
me
have
wonder
got.
whether or not this right here was the Ukrainian flag, and
Yep.
it makes me wonder if this is the Ukrainian flag that they just painted over and they're towing a Ukrainian vehicle.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. We can't confirm that that's what's happening. We can't confirm that that's a Russian thing. But I'd be pretty pissed off. Oh, this was a school that was damaged that we were looking at above that.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right. I still want to know what they were doing looking with all those footprints.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Shots fired, 20 rounds heard at 8:48 in S. Krieger. Where's this at? Oh, it's Chicago.
Wow.
I don't know how they got on the Ukrainian feed. Okay. I'm not sure, like I said, I don't know how that happened.
No. I can explain it. What we haven't realised is the Russians have actually invaded Chicago. No one's actually noticed because Russians are losing. But, this is Chicago after all.
This is a good thing of the Russian helicopter being shot down.
Mm.
Oh, they're just going to show a picture here. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Where's the other one that they had? Is it up here? That was what we just saw.
Yeah.
Second pilot from an Su-34 shot down was dead, identified as Major Kirilopov, responsible for bombings in Syria. Okay. That doesn't tell me anything.
Nope.
I'm not trying to deny everything. Russian strike targeted civilian apartments. Well, are they killing civilians left and right? Are they just blowing out whole areas? Have they brought in backfire bombers yet to this carpet bomb an area?
Mm-hmm. Russia'd never do anything like that.
Oh, only Americans do that stuff. Are you sure that we're that much more advanced than they are?
I didn't say that. You did, not me.
Am I wrong?
No, but it was you that said it, not me.
Let's take a look at this. I want to see what this looks like. Is that a bomb or is that just a fuel tank?
It looks more like a fuel tank.
Let's hoping to get widen this up so that people could see it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, this doesn't look like a bomb. It does look like a fuel tank. That's just.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on this stuff. Right. You, on the other hand, have more expertise than I do. This just doesn't look like a bombing.
No, I personally would say that was an extra fuel tank, quite simply. I mean, short, unless, of course, just to cover myself, Russians may do things a little bit different, but I would say that was a fuel tank.
I mean, that is what it looks like to me, right? And notice how they've gone here and they haven't really gone any further forward.
Yeah.
This because it's part of their doctrine.
Yeah.
All right. This is the thing that people don't understand. They're saying, okay, these guys are stopped out here. The Ukrainians are holding them back. No, they stopped there initially, and they stopped there intentionally so they can kill people. That's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is where they're beating the holy crap out of this city, right?
Yeah.
With shelling. And you notice they seized this airfield here, and yet they're showing that these other areas are open. If they seize this airfield and it's not under pressure, they're probably just sitting back on, okay, if we see areas, we'll just hit them and then go on. I'm not even sure what these planes would be doing. They're saying that these were shot down. What are these planes doing? You're not seeing any bombing from them. You're not seeing them taking anything out, right?
It does seem like they're just doing flights. I agree.
So, no, they've got. I mean, I'm sure they are bombing things, but it would be nice if we knew where they were bombing. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
It's like here, street fighting is taking place. Nobody wants street fighting. Okay, I'll say that right now.
Yeah.
But the Russians have supposedly lost about 40 aircraft, right? Excuse me, 40 warplanes, right?
Yeah.
SUs, MiGs, those things, and and an additional 40 helicopters have been shot down.
Yeah.
Right. Now, as Americans, we wouldn't like this. Okay, as Americans, we would look at those kind of losses and go, "What the hell is going on here?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to suffer some of this kind of degradation in an initial assault, but after the assaults begin, you seize air supremacy. Your planes, your helicopters, and everything for the most part are basically safe.
Yeah.
They may shoot with a manpad a plane out of the sky or a helicopter out of the sky once every month or so.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when they do that, they normally comes in 2s or 3s. Right. But you're not seeing that every day. But the Russians don't approach things the way we do. They don't fight the way we do.
Mm-hmm.
And for people who don't understand the Russian way of thinking, which is still very Soviet, the Russians, let me give you an example. During World War II, all right, during some of the final battles of World War II, right, the Russians seized Berlin. They were in Berlin. And they ordered a group to take the Reichstag, right? It was an important building. See if we can take the Reichstag intact. It has all this propaganda value, right?
Yeah.
Now, the area in front of the Reichstag is wide open plain. It's like a wide open square. The Russians lost 5,000 dead. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Germans had put machine guns in damn near every friggin' window they could. Now, eventually, all right, they overwhelmed the defenders of the Reichstag and killed them all. All right.
Yeah.
But an American in that situation would have stood up there and initially said, okay, let's head to, okay, 1-800-ARTY. Yeah, there's a building here that needs to be removed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Americans don't play it that way. And I'm not saying that, I'm trying to point this out to get people to understand when it comes to casualties, Americans try to reduce them, right? The Russians calculate how many did we kill versus how many we killed. That's all they care about. They don't care how many died. And as long as that ratio is in their favor, and when I'm saying the ratio is in their favor, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio for them.
No.
They don't calculate it, well, one Russian killed versus one German killed. No! They look at it as okay, well, did we take our objective? Yes. 95% casualties. Tough victory. Who's left? The survivor gets a medal. They will. And they'll send that poor sod off toward another freaking strong point. Unfortunately.
Yeah. He's obviously a survivor. Send him off. Let's go.
You can't have too many people talking about how bad this was.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't think like we do. I found this story. Ukrainian drone enthusiasts sign up to repel Russian forces. Now, are there a bunch of like TB2s laying around that I don't know about? Because if there is, and if these are off the shelf, I kind of want one.
I'm shocked.
Or two or three. Right? Well, let's be honest. How much if you could sit up there and just say, "Hey, I want a drone," and people will ship you a drone? I'm not talking about the little helicopter man pad things that you see on the internet, right? Over on YouTube where they're showing pictures. Oh, look at my house, from the air.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you're talking Jane's Defense Weekly. I know. I get you.
Yeah, I'm talking one of those drones that I was showing earlier.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool if Jane's Defense Weekly actually had a phone-in site so you could actually just order that stuff? It's like Amazon, but on crack.
Why are we doing this? We have no other choice. This is our land, our home, said Shuko, head of operations in Kiev's based industrial drone technology company, Drone UA, which before the war started was helping providing drone services to farmers and energy companies.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a drone for sale, dude, you get the Turks to hand you a drone. I mean, I'd be more interested in flying a drone around. I have some things around here I'd like to take care of with a drone. Right? Just to let people know. Let me alone.
Oh my God, that'll be what the next Call of Duty is going to be called: Drone Wars.
Well, I mean, people have been looking for them for a while. Okay. Yeah. The Russians, of course, have really cracked down on the Americans. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're wondering what I'm talking about this. Russia says it has an American basketball player in custody. The Russian Federal Customs Service say that its officials have detained an American basketball player after finding vape cartridges that contained hash oil in her luggage. All right, at the whatever this is airport near Moscow.
Yeah, one thing.
Metyovo.
Yeah, you should mention, ladies and gentlemen, that is female.
All right. The Customs Service said in a statement that the player had won 2 Olympic gold medals with the United States, but it did not release the player's name. The Russian agency TASS, citing a law enforcement source, identified the player as Brittany Griner, a 7-time WNBA All-Star center for the Phoenix Mercury. Griner won gold medals at the U.S. women's national basketball team in 2020 and 2016. Okay, Brittany, what were you doing in Russia? I'm just asking the question, dumbass. What the hell were you doing?
On its way to visit Dennis Rodman, maybe? I don't know.
With those tattoos, it kind of looks that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like she's competing with him, right? No, I'm sure it's a scary thing to be picked up by the Russians, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also think that it's very possible that the Russians planted this on her, right? It also could be that this woman is just an idiot. Are you this fucking stupid? You.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this woman has a record, for those who don't know. All right. Being in Arizona, we hear about certain things like the women's basketball team when certain players get into domestic disputes with their partners, their female partners. Okay. So this lesbian has gotten in trouble for beating up her frickin' girlfriend. What were you doing though in Russia? I'm really curious what she was doing in Russia. Was she visiting friends? When the whole Ukrainian thing is kicked off, do you think that maybe Brittany, that was the time to leave?
It would be a subtle clue, yeah.
Right? I'm not blaming her for being stupid. Well, yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
You're an idiot. Oh, okay. Here's what it is. Many WNBA players compete in Russia, where salaries are more lucrative during the American League's offseason. Griner has played for the Russian team UMMC. I'm not going to try to attempt to butcher that. Sure, I will. Ekaterinburg, all right, for several years. In other words, she's going over there making money. She's taking Vlad's dough. Vlad is paying her to keep the people shut up. I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they showing her in a Mercury uniform? I want to see her in one of these Vlad uniforms. Am I wrong?
No, that's fair.
Right. So basically, she was in there taking dough, taking money. All right, and then was doing vape cartridges with hash.
Sure.
Hey, Brittany, you and your other Brittany girl, you girls need to get together because you guys are loose. All right. Yeah, I can't blame you for making money. All right, I can't blame you. I can blame you for making money from Vlad. I mean, if you're taking money from a freaking evil dictator. I wonder what she thinks about Russian prison compared to American prisons. I hope she gets out soon so we can ask her that question.
Fair.
I mean, that would be an interesting thing because she's been arrested in America. What is it? Is it better to get arrested in America or is it better to get arrested in Russia? I mean, wouldn't you like a comparison like that? A person, someone who's gone through both.
I would like a comparison like that, as long as it wasn't me that actually was giving the comparison. Okay?
Oh no, I don't want to. I don't want to visit the compare. I don't want a personal comparison comparative visit. I don't. I'll be honest with that.
Which one's worse, Vladivostok or Georgia? They're both horrible.
Well, that could be comparable. Be honest with
The only difference is one was freezing cold and the other was Georgia. Okay?
All right. Since we're talking about gay people, man threatened to cut the gay out of his brother. While threatening his brother with a knife, a Florida man, what a surprise, right, said he was going to cut the gay out of his siblings, according to police, who arrested the suspect on multiple criminal charges. This is hardly a surprise.
Oh
According to
no,
the Miami-Dade
I've worked it
Police
out, dude.
Department report,
I've worked
officers
it out.
responded. What?
I've worked out. It wasn't that they arrested him because of the knife. They arrested him because he misgendered somebody. I bet.
According to the Miami-Dade Police Department, officers responded Thursday morning to a 911 call about a violent dispute at a Miami residence between David Martinez, 40, and his brother. Martinez's kin. Why does it sound like Martinez is dead? All right, told cops that his sibling had been acting strangely since last night and threatened him while sharpening a large kitchen knife, telling him he was going to cut the gay out of him. Are there pieces that sit up there and say gay on you? Is there anything other that says homosexual on you?
Not that I know of, but you know.
I'm not saying that,
Wonder.
I just want to know how you're going to cut the gay out of somebody.
By cutting everything up and throwing away everything, that way you're guaranteed to get the gay bit.
You're talking about, I don't want to go to work. Basically, you're saying wood chipper time.
Yeah.
If you're throwing somebody in a wood chipper, if you've gone to that degree, I think you've gone a little overboard. All right? Martinez told the victim he was going to kill him. Cops say when the man sought to depart the residence, Martinez followed him out, grabbed him, and told him to get back in the house. In fear, the victim returned to the residence. But you should have started sprinting, dude. When you got out of the house to start with, you should have started running.
Run, Forrest, run.
Run, Forrest, run. Right. In fear, the victim returned to the residence, but was eventually able to exit the location and had a friend contact the police. Well, stop right there. Why didn't you contact the police?
Gay people can't use a phone? Mm-hmm.
Paraphrasing Princess Bride, I'm going to teach you English with this fucking knife. When officers arrive, because I wouldn't have a friend call. I would be calling on the phone.
No.
Pick up my brother. He's a loon. He's lost it. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what I'd be saying.
Yeah.
When officers arrived at the home, Martinez became irate. Really? That the cops showed up to arrest you? Most of them are docile and ready to sit up there and, oh, yeah, I'll cooperate. Was uncooperative to the point of struggling with cops who attempted to detain him. After he was taken to the ground, man, they threw this guy. They beat this guy.
Oh,
Martinez was handcuffed by officers who seized a knife on the premises. Now, if they come into your home, Jensen, are they going to find knives?
Yes.
Right? I mean, I hate to say this, but if they go into my kitchen and start counting the number of knives that we have, I'm kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Right? Because my wife went crazy one time and bought all these freaking stupid steak knives and then bought another set. I've got about, I don't know, 3-4 dozen knives.
Wow. Okay.
Right? And I'm not talking butter knives.
No.
Right? This is because I'm talking kitchen knives for a variety of things. My wife went nuts one time. No, she's nuts all the time. That's a separate thing. but she bought these things, right? So we have 2 dozen, or at least a dozen, right? Steak knives. We got like 2 dozen carving knives. All right. We got this those real expensive knife things with the wood holders and everything.
Yeah.
I had one of those given to me, right? So that has like a dozen knives, right? Yeah. With one of those steel sharpeners, butcher sharpeners. So the fact that they found knives in the residence doesn't surprise me. Right? You're going to find knives. Right? Seen above, Martinez was arrested for aggravated assault. Looks like Martinez did a little bit more struggling than people are admitting to with that bandage on his shoulder. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, kidnapping, false imprisonment, right? All of which are felonies. But they'll charge him with a misdemeanor, right? All right. And he was also charged with 2 misdemeanor resisting arrest counts. Okay. Do they find drugs on him? Because that's what they'll plead to.
Yeah.
That's what they'll plea bargain down to, I'm telling you. Martinez, whose occupation is listed as construction in the police report, is being held in jail in lieu of $22,000 bond. You let this guy out on $22,000 bond? You know, that's not even the price of a car in America today.
Now we know the price of life in Miami-Dade.
Now, you look at this guy. Now, I'm not saying anything, but doesn't it look like that Martinez has joined a religious sect of some sort?
A certain religious sect, yes. I'm not saying any specific, but he definitely looks like he has joined a certain religious sect, maybe interconnective towards a group in the Midlands.
Put it out there. He does look that way. I wonder if his name's Martinez or Muhammad. Okay.
I'm telling you, by the time we see you next week, his name will be Martinez Al Mohammed. You watch.
Or Mustafa Kumala or something like that. Road rage triggered by pro-vax sticker. Oh, this ought to be good.
Mm-hmm.
A New Mexico woman became so incensed by a pro-vaccination bumper sticker on another motorist's car that she threw a water bottle at the vehicle before pulling a gun on the driver.
The water bottle I was fine with. Pulling the gun, that was the moment.
I think you went a bit too far.
Yeah.
Christina Blair began yelling obscenities and honking her horn at Gabriel Chavez as the pair's vehicles traveled on the Albuquerque road. Blair, the cops say, was angered by the vaccinated bumper sticker on Chavez's car. Chavez, according to a criminal complaint, told police that he gestured for Blair to drive around him, but she proceeded to follow him to the intersection. While at the red light, Blair threw something at the vehicle. Concerned about the confrontation was becoming more aggressive, the frightened Chavez sought to drive away from the situation, a patrolman noted. But Chavez then accidentally backed into Blair's car. Okay, now we know what really went on here. She threw a freaking water bottle. He said, "Okay, bitch," and threw that thing in reverse. Okay,
there is one question that no one's asking. Why did she have a problem with a car being vaccinated? Just saying. It wasn't that the vaccinated thing was on the guy.
She threw a water bottle at somebody with a bumper sticker. Do you think this person has all the oars in the water?
Fair. Just seriously though, okay.
All right, but now, anybody who comes back with this, I'm sorry, but the patrolman here is just full of shit. Mm-hmm. When Chavez accidentally backed his car into Blair's car, she was following him, right? Yeah. He was on a road, or he was trying to get out of the situation and pull away by backing up.
Mm-hmm. No.
He then accidentally backed into her car, prompting him to pull into a parking lot of a nearby Walgreens to exchange insurance information. An extremely irate Blair, cops say, retrieved a handgun from her car, racked the weapon. Mm-hmm. A video provided by Chavez to the police showed Blair reach into her vehicle and produce the weapon, the complaint charges. An investigator added that Blair, who was standing 6 foot from Chavez, appeared to run to the side and make the gun ready for live fire. When she produced the weapon, he called 911. in fear that she was going to shoot him. Yeah, dude, I can see why. First of all, you messed with crazy. You knew she was a crazy. You knew she was a crazy bitch, and you were like, I'm big and tough. I'm gonna take this. Oh, bitch, you got a gun. That's how that went down. Okay.
There is, of course, one thing. Okay, no one is asking the most important question, and that is, did she have good trigger discipline?
I don't know. Since Chavez's video recorded Blair's license plate number, officers were able to track her down to a residence. In other words, the empty water bottle thing. I mean, I'm not trying to defend this loon, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But she claimed that she became fearful of Chavez. I can believe that. The guy intentionally backed his car into her.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't deny that. He didn't accidentally do it. He did it intentionally. He rammed her. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that he was going to get Billy Badass until she pulled a gun. Right? And then he was like, oh, no, this has really gotten serious. The woman's a loon. All right? The woman started it. I'm not going to deny that she didn't go out of her way to start this freaking shit. Right? I'm not going to say that he was totally in the wrong for backing up his car, aside from the fact that, look, why are you going to damage your own freaking car, dude?
Yep.
But there's one thing you have to learn, okay, in life. You can't scare an angry woman.
No.
Okay? They just get worse. The conniption just increases. All right?
Mm-hmm.
When they've lost control, they've lost control. There's no getting it back. All right? It's not coming back Sunday. All right? All right? When a woman is out of control, and the fact that she threw something tells you she's out of control.
Yep.
Right? The best thing to do is just get the hell out of the way.
Yes.
Right? If you come back and get in the confrontation, if you're and it happens, I understand why. I mean, guys, at some point in time, you're like, at least with me, there's only so much. You know what? Screw this. To hell with this. I'm going to prove something right now. I'm not afraid of you, bitch. As soon as you get that in your head,
you're dead.
You better understand that if that's your point of view, you better be ready to put the crazy down.
Yep.
Because if the crazy has access to a weapon, okay, which is anything,
mm-hmm.
okay, I'll be honest with you. This guy was dumb enough to get out of the car. You're lucky you didn't get run over by this woman.
Yep.
Now, she got out, and he probably started yelling at her. And now she's like, oh, I got me a chance. Right? I'm just putting it out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got an angry woman? Get the hell out of the way. Bullshit, no, man. That's your Trotsky program. Just one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's all I've got for right now. Do you have something you would like to show us, Jensen?
I just would like to say one little thing to Jacob. Oh, Jacob. Oh. There you go. That'll do.
What the hell is? I don't want to know what that is. Never mind. I don't need to know. I'm just gonna stop this. Have a good day, everybody. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.